gravestones and grave in Chicago. Without sounding too macabre, how did you get it in your brain that someone should actually document all these gravestones around Chicago?
The story is I moved here from Philadelphia on a tennis job. I'm kind of a musician and tennis pro in 2014. And my goal was to, learn about blues in Chicago and, do my tennis full-time job during the day and play music at night. And after a year of teaching, I had an on-court injury, nerve damage in my right foot, which just pretty much crippled me for 5 years. I was just in agony, and unfortunately I just didn't have the energy to play music out. So I started writing for the American blues scene, and then I just was really interested in the blues originators and made my first trip to Restvale Cemetery, and that's where Muddy Waters was, and then slowly started connecting the pieces over the years. So this book took about 9 years. So again, I started with at Restvale with Muddy, Hound Dog Taylor's there, Magic Sam, Sam Lawhorn, and putting the pieces together. And then, this is going to sound really strange, I do a lot of meditation. I had an inner voice tell me to, put the book out, and it was just kind of putting pieces together one at a time. The last 6 months I've been doing this full time, and, it's like a treasure hunt, and, one thing leads to another, and here the book is. I'm amazed. It's a miracle it's even done. So that's kind of the story.
Just for people keeping score at home.
Yeah.
Who's the publisher and where could they get a copy of this?
Oh, I self-published, so you can get it on Amazon. So Amazon KDP, I did photos, bought all the flowers for it. You can get it on Amazon. Self-published it through there. So.
Cool. I like that a lot.
Yeah.
So I want to talk about McKinley Morganfield, who better known as Muddy Waters.
Right.
Came up to Chicago and really blew up the electric Chicago blues scene.
Right.
Born in 1919, died in 1983. McKinley Morganfield, coming up from famous Stovepipe Plantation. And his gravestone says the mojo is gone.
Yeah, yep.
So let's hear Muddy Waters. He's the thing we should start off with, right?
I agree. He's the
Muddy
man.
On Hambone's Blues Party. Oh, you know what? Give me 1 second.
Okay. You want me to keep talking here? Okay.
Yeah, tell me who else you liked in there.
Yeah, well, just Restvale has most of the artists. I have the book in front of me. You've got Jimmy Rogers at Restvale, Big Walter Horton, Earl Hooker there. He's a big one. I think he's one of the greatest guitar players of all time. Magic Sam, Daddy Stovepipe is an old one. And a lot of these artists were very tricky to find, so I had a lot of help from grave workers and stuff. So.
Well, I'm doing a shot in the dark here. This is Muddy Waters on Hambone's Blues Party. We open up with Muddy Waters, I Can't Be Satisfied, recorded April of 1948. And then after that, of course, we heard Howlin Wolf with one of the earliest recordings he did, Moanin' at Midnight. So I played Howlin Wolf because where's he buried?
He's buried at Oak Ridge Glen Oak Cemetery. So also Mighty Joe Young is there, some soul singers, Dee Clark. I have a quick funny story if you want to hear it regarding Glen Oak Cemetery. So,
well, I'll determine whether it's funny or not, but you can tell.
Oh, okay, gotcha. So that was when I was looking for his Clapton, by the way, paid for his headstone. So, yeah, it's a very nice headstone. When I was there, there was a funeral procession going on, and I'd never seen anything like it. I don't know who had passed away, but there were 2 horse carriages and buggies and horses and like 3 stretch limos and just like tons of cars. But it was, it's very tricky doing this. And there's, a funeral procession going on, and here I am, like just walking around like 200 yards, 100 yards from this, searching for graves, because a lot of times you can't find them. I would use findagrave.com for GPS coordinates to find the graves. A lot of them were incorrect. A lot of times I had to, find them on my own. But anyway, the interesting thing that was kind of like out of a movie is there's these funeral processions going on, and here I am just walking around aimlessly, and people are watching me. I'm just like, oh my God, just please let me find. Some of the graves I couldn't find. I would be there for 30 minutes to an hour to 2 hours, and it was crazy.
in all your journeys over the 9 years, did you see any gravestones that people had visited that you saw? There was memorials of flowers, like I'm thinking of Jim Morrison in Europe.
Yeah.
People travel from around the world.
Yeah, I'd say Howlin Wolf's one had one of the most amount of flowers. That was a big one. Muddy Waters, I would say. I'm trying to think. There weren't too many, because a lot of, obviously, these blues artists were pretty obscure, and even the well-known ones didn't have very big graves. Those were the only two I could really think. There was one guy from Mississippi, I'm blanking, Walter Vinson, he had some flowers, but besides that, not many. I know Koko Taylor and Luther Allison probably had some of the nicest graves, like they were giant, almost like coffin, like I'd say like 4 feet by 8 feet with like engravings and just very nice. But besides that, very small headstones. So I'd say Muddy Waters and Howlin Wolf are really the only two.
So I was talking to my friend John Luster, who's a big music fan in Chicago.
Yeah.
And he mentioned that there should be a one source where people coming from out of town or live in town could go visit these great blues artists, musicians.
I was thinking of somehow doing that. That's kind of the next step. Chicago Blues Grave Tour. Pick them up and you go to a few of them. That would be awesome. That's a whole nother business idea. So
I get 10% for thinking about it.
There you go. You can do the voice. You can do the voice for like the tours.
That'll cost more.
Yeah.
You got to tune to Hambone's Blues Party. We're going to do this, come back and do that, and we appreciate you listening. Don't touch that dial. You got to tune back to Hambone's Blues Party. We're here with our good friend Brant Buckley, who wrote a book, took some photographs of some gravestones, tell some stories, but he also was nice enough to bring in his guitar tonight. And there we are. Hey, Brant, let me just get a level on the guitar. Can you hit that once? That's all right. That sounds good. So, ladies and gentlemen, for your dancing, dining, and front porch and blues pleasure, please welcome Brant Buckley to the back of the Cadillac on Hambone's Blues Party.
Thanks for having me. This is Nerve Damage Blues. Was a tennis pro when my right foot snapped, fell to the ground, career zapped. Oh, so much pain. That's right. And I could use some new walk-in shoes, 'cause I've got nerve damage blues. 10 doctors and a hired gun. Everyone said I was done. Dollar Man said back to work. And I could use some new walk-in shoes, 'cause I've got nerve damage blues. Into a lawsuit and I lost my mind. All the lawyers were so blind to all my pain. And I could use some new walk-in shoes, 'cause I've got nerve damage blues. All right. And I could use some new walking shoes, 'cause I've got nerve damage blues. Working through those damage blues. Working through those damage blues. Long gone now, I'm back in my shoes. I've healed my nerve damage blues.
We're back here with Brant Buckley. He has a great new book called Chicago Blues, History Preserving the Past. So, Brant, I got to turn your mic up.
Okay.
So, why is it important to document and have people see old, dead blues musicians' gravestones?
Well, I mean, blues is the roots. What's that Willie Dixon line? Blues are the, what do you know? It's something blues are roots, something fruit. Oh, well, I can't remember. But yeah, blues is, I think, the most important form of music that's in folk music. And I mean, just look at Muddy Waters, you know, with the Rolling Stones copying him, Bob Dylan, and you go back to Son House before him, Charlie Patton. So it's in all forms of music, and I think, you know, unless you study it and go back, most people are oblivious to that. There's actually a good quote from the book here, if I can find it, that talks about this. Let's see, I'm just going to... The Chicago blues artists in this book are the source. They are the original rock and rollers and rappers. Without them, rock and roll and rap wouldn't exist. Blues remains hidden within countless forms of music. It is the mud underneath the earth, making all forms of music sprout and grow. And I'll just leave with one last sentence. Taylor Swift, Lady Gaga, Justin Bieber, Post Malone, and any current artist at the top of the charts wouldn't exist if it weren't for these legendary male and female blues artists. So that's, yeah, they're the source.
So I played, at the beginning of the show, I played James Solberg, who was the band leader for Luther Allison. And I actually, by serendipity, put Luther Allison's CD in my bag tonight, and you mentioned that he was one of the guys you saw.
Yeah, Washington Memory Garden. So he's actually right next to Koko Taylor, right where the grave office is. So they actually both have very similar graves, like just the layout of like that 4-foot by 8-foot kind of like flat monument with they're just like full body engraved, and those are beautiful.
Are these cemeteries, are they all in Chicagoland proper, or are they in the suburbs too?
Yes, well, they're in the suburbs too, so most of, like, you know, the big three I call are in, you know, Allsip, Restvale, Burr Oak, Lincoln cemeteries, and Blue Island. Some of them are in Chicago, like where Junior Wells is Oakwoods, that's Southside Chicago. Little Walters at, I think, St. Mary Catholic, and Teresa Needham, or whoever owned Teresa's Lounge.
Yeah, Teresa Needham. Right?
Yeah. So, yep.
Well, I want to hear some Luther Allison.
Let's do it.
On Hambone's Blues Party. Bone's Blues Party. We heard two, since they're buried next to each other. Which gravesite is that?
That's Washington Memory Gardens, or Koko Taylor and Luther Allison, and also Hubert Sumlin's there and Washboard Sam.
So we heard from Luther Allison, one of the greatest blues guitarists and bluesmen in recent history, from the Alligator record called Blue Streak, and the song we heard was Walking Papers. And then at the end, we heard a little Koko Taylor, since they're buried next to each other. Mm-hmm. We played them next to each other. And the song we heard was What Came First, the Egg or the Hen? And Willie Dixon is not only wrote that song, but produced it and also was singing in the background.
Oh, really?
And you said that Willie has, you were there too?
Yeah, he's at Burr Oak, right when you go in, there's kind of like, you can go to the left, center, or right. He's pretty much probably 300 yards right when you get into the entrance of Burr Oak, Allsip, so that's right next to Muddy's grave, Restvale Cemetery.
Hey, would you pick up your guitar and do two more songs for us?
Yeah, let's do it. Here we go.
This is Brant Buckley, who wrote a brand new book called Chicago Blues History. Watch out for my mic, please. Yep. Preserving the Past.
Sorry. It's tough. I'm close quarters.
Yeah, well, the Cadillac doesn't make it easy.
Yeah.
I'll tell you that. I understand that. Let me put on your guitar there. And what do you got in store for us next?
This is it's a little folky bluesy, but it's called No Fish Musky Song. So it's musky are notoriously hard fish to catch, and this is that song. Here we go. Lines in the water, reeling the bait. Big musky follows a figure eight. Nothing seems to strike. Change the color, change the shape. Walleye patterned a Concord grape. You might get lucky. No fish all day. We'll give you the blues. Bodies boiling from the heat. 10,000 casts within this week. No prime time slime. There's pain in your shoulders, your back is hurting. Your legs on fire, everything's burning. Need some ice cold beer. No fish all day. We'll give you the blues. No fish all day. We'll give you the blues. Yep, that's No Fish. I'm gonna put my capo on. I think, Scott, this is gonna be your favorite one. This is called Mystical Muddy Man. There are some Cadillac references. This is a tricky one to play because it's pretty quick. Yeah, that's true. They all are. My soul told me when I was born, my carbon copy will take this form. My red guitar, now an orange star. My Cadillacs, still shining black. I'm back. Yes, I'm back.
Yeah.
I'm the mystical muddy man, healing waters in my hands. I heal the sick and I raise the dead. My guitar and sound will help your head. Flowers in my hat, I'm a spiritual cat. My fedora's still shining black. I'm back. Yes, I'm back. I'm the mystical muddy man, healing waters in my hands. resurrect the blues, alive and underground, reviving the sound. I'm back. Yes, I'm back. I'm the mystical muddy man, healing waters. I'm the mystical muddy man, healing waters in my hands.
Oh, I like that a lot. What's the name of that tune?
That's Mystical Muddy Man. I think that's my favorite of them all.
Did you write that?
I did write that, yes.
And before that?
Before that was No Fish, the Musky Song. So all of these are original songs I've written.
We're here with Brant Buckley. He wrote a really nice book called Chicago Blues History, Preserving the Past. Hey, Brant, I got to do a quick station ID at the top of the hour. We hang around a little bit?
Sure.
We can play a couple more tunes?
Yeah.
All right, I'm going to dedicate this song to our good friend Mike, who stopped by tonight to keep us company. Hey, Mike, this one's for you, man. So, Brant, just tell people where they could find more about your book.
Yeah, you can basically just go to Amazon, type in Chicago Blues History Preserving the Past on Google. It should appear, and the whole book should appear. It's around 1995, 214 pages. It's a paperback book, colored photos of graves with roses and carnations, and artist write-up and song recommendations, and also cemetery write-ups for each. So 80 artists, 15 cemeteries. So, yeah.
Also, the perfect bathroom reader in my mind.
It is. I loved it. I mean, I wish it could go into a hardcover book. I don't know if that's possible. Amazon KDP only. This is a very strange size. It's 8 by 6, I think 0.25 or 6.5 inches. So it's more horizontal than vertical. But yeah, I think it's great.
How did you even start finding out where anyone was? Is there some besides graves.com or something?
Yeah, find a grave, and then you just kind of you can type in by location in Chicago, and there's got to be 200 to 400. And
so I forgot to mention, you got tuned to Hambone's Blues Party. Those in the know that we play soul music in the second hour. Mm-hmm. But we're going to let Brant play one more song, then say goodbye to him. Mm-hmm. And then going to start some soul music. And Brant, what do you have in store for us next?
This is going to be more of a chuggin' blues one. It's called Makin Limeade.
Brant Buckley in the back of the Cadillac on Hambone's Blues Party.
Here we go. Hey, climb this lime tree. Hey, climb this lime tree. Making limeade in the trees and the shade. I love your green eyes, the way they look at me. I love your green eyes, the way you look at me. Making limeade in the trees and the shade. The Costa Rica sun makes us hot. The Costa Rica sun makes us hot. Making limeade in the trees and the shade. Take it, Brant. Okay. lime juice drips down your leg. Yeah, yeah. Lime juice drips down your leg. Making limeade in the trees and the shade. A shot of tequila and some salt. A shot of tequila and some salt. Making limeade in the trees and the shade. Last one. Hey, hey, climb this lime tree. Hey, hey, climb this lime tree. Making limeade in the trees. Making limeade in the trees and the shade.
Sweet and tasty.
Thanks.
It's Brant Buckley in the back of the Cadillac on Hambone's Blues Party. His book is called Chicago Blues History, Preserving the Past. 80 artists, 15 cemeteries, and you should go buy one. And where could they do that, Brent?
On Amazon. So just go to Amazon, Google, or not Google or Amazon, my name, Brant Buckley, or Chicago Blues History, Preserving the Past, or just type in Chicago Blues. It's going to appear somewhere.
So I want to thank you for coming down here and
Educating
us all, learning us a lesson, as I used to say.
Yeah, thanks for having me. I'm honored.
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
We appreciate you coming down.
Yeah.
I do want to play one more musician who passed away recently, who was gravestone is in your book, I believe. And it's Jimmy Johnson, who was a good friend of the show and one of the nicest guys in the world. We could talk forever about Jimmy, but tell us about that.
Interesting story. I didn't really know where he was located. I eventually found out he's at Mount Glenwood Memory Garden South, but I found out through going to Homewood Memorial Gardens, where Buddy Guy's brother Phil Guy is buried, and the staff there, a woman named Kelly, was, I don't know how I brought up Jimmy Johnson. I couldn't find him, and she's like, well, the name sounds familiar, and she was pretty certain he was located within pretty close distance of Homewood. So she made some calls, and it ended up miraculously, going to that cemetery, Mount Glenwood Memory Garden South, and finding him. So obviously I had to then look at a map. I didn't, I was going through that one, especially it had rained, and I was going through trenches and underwater graves. I was like, oh God, please don't be underwater. But thank goodness he wasn't. So,
well, we appreciate you coming down. We're going to end up here with one from Jimmy Johnson, and we'll see you again, man.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Here's Jimmy Johnson on Hambone's Blues Party.